Welcome to Fatal Crime Confessions. We are a weekly true crime podcast where we discuss the evil, the sinful, and the inhumane. I'm your host, Ray Monique.
And I'm your co-host, Michael Banks.
Today we will be discussing the murder of Skylar Neese. How were your friendships in high school? Were y'all a clique? How many people were in your clique? Like, what was it like?
Yeah, we were clicked out. We were pretty big clique too. I played football in high school, so it was kind of like brothers. So you just stuck together.
Have y'all ever gotten into like a major argument or in a fight where you're just like, man, I don't want to be friends with him no more? Like, how did it end?
No, we had moments when we went back and forth. But it never was a friendship anything. It was just back and forth. Sometimes even fists was thrown, but about like 45 minutes later, it was like it never happened.
That's cute. That didn't happen for Skylar.
Oh.
Actually, her friendship ended in her murder.
Wow.
So, let me tell you about Skylar. Skylar was a 16-year-old high schooler from West Virginia in Morgantown.
I know all about that place.
Because you went to school in West Virginia.
Yeah. I spent a lot of time in Morgantown. It was one of the best party cities for sure.
Well, according to her father, she actually had an active social life, so makes sense. She was energetic, thriving. She worked. She was a very studious student. She had a 4.0 GPA.
Wow,
she was the only child of Dave and Mary Neese. Skylar met her best friend, Sheila, when she was 8 years old. According to her father, Sheila was practically part of the family. That duo, sooner than later, became a trio. And when Skylar entered into her freshman year of high school in September 2010, Sheila became friends with Rachel. Not too long later, Sheila transferred to the same school as Skylar, and they all became friends. It was one of those situations where it was like, oh, there's Skylar. You turn your head, there's Sheila and there's Rachel. They're never too far apart. That's how it was with me and one of my friends, my freshman year at Howard. Wherever I was, there was Nira. She was never too far behind. We were always very close to one another. That didn't last entirely too long, their friendship. On July 5th, 2012, Skylar Neese went home after finishing a shift at work. Was actually supposed to go on a Catholic church camp in early July, but it was postponed because of a storm.
Well.
And Rachel and Sheila took note of that and decided to plan ahead of time of what ended up resulting in the death of Skylar.
Wow.
So this was premeditated, unfortunately. On Thursday, July 5th, Skylar got home from her work at Glenmark Center's Wendy's around 10 p.m. When she got home, a few hours later, around 12 p.m., Sheila pulled up to her parents' apartment to pick her up so that they can go hang out. Unbeknownst to Skylar, in Sheila's trunk, she was carrying a shovel, fresh clothes, towels, and bleach.
Wow, so she had every plan to murder her, basically.
So, like I said, they were going to hang out. All three of them. They pulled into a woodsy area where Skylar parked her car about a mile away from the road. First of all, none of my friends are driving me to no woods at 12:30 in the morning.
Well, I mean, I've been to a bonfire when I was in West Virginia, like that late, but I mean, it was a bunch of people there.
Well, it was just them three. So Skylar got out the car. She was preparing to roll up her weed. And behind her is when the two other girls started to count to 3. It was their prearranged signal. And they started stabbing Skylar with knives that they kept beneath their hoodies.
Wow. Hold on, so like, what caused all this?
You have to wait till the end of the story.
Oh, okay.
So the girls stood over her, watching her die, as she cried, "Why?" Which is understandable. You're supposed to be my best friend.
Yeah.
Why are you killing me?
Like, we was supposed to get high together just now, and now you killing me?
So Sheila and Rachel had planned on where they were going to bury her, but when they had finally got to the location, they realized there were too many rocks to shovel. So instead, they put her body next to a big tree and covered her with rocks and branches. That doesn't sound very logical to me. I feel like
you just better off dump it in the river.
She would be too easily found.
Yeah.
But I guess they were in a rush. They weren't accounting for things not planning how they expected. Yeah. So after they washed themselves off in a creek, like you just said, there was a body of water where you could have put her. Why?
Yeah.
Cover her up where if someone was hiking or whatever, they could easily find her. But they washed themselves off and they disposed of their bloody clothes, the knives, Skylar's cell phone. And this all took them a while. They didn't finish wrapping up the crime scene until about dawn.
Wow.
Only shortly after this, in a demonstration of her narcissism and arrogance, Sheila decided that she was going to go on social media and retweet at 9:09 a.m. "Always keep your cool."
What?
I guess she was trying to give herself an alibi. I don't know. I would stay off social media if I just killed my friend. But the next morning, Skylar's dad discovered that she didn't sleep in her bed. And he later found that the window screen was open and that there was a little bench that she had outside her window that she would actually use to sneak out. So he realized that she had left during the night after she came from work. First of all, as a parent, I would never have a bench next to my child's window. You ain't sneaking out my house.
First of all, I would have like alarms on my windows. Like,
well, there's ways to get around that. You can put foil on it and it won't go off.
Well, you want to leave out my house without me knowing.
So after he discovered this, he later found out from police that she didn't even go to work as people thought she did. She actually missed work. And so after they realized she didn't go to work, she didn't sleep in her bed, is when they began the investigation of her disappearance. Later that day, Sheila called Skylar's parents to tell them what had happened the night before.
She didn't call her parents to tell them that she killed their daughter, right?
Of course not. She came up with her own alternative story, which was that her, Skylar, and Rachel had snuck out and they had driven around Star City when they were getting high, and that the two girls had dropped her off back home, and that she had dropped her off at the end of the road because she didn't want to wake her parents up when she was sneaking back in. So, of course, they checked their security cameras. They saw when her car came to pick her up at 12:30 a.m. And at 12:35 a.m., they see Skylar sneaking out of her room, slipping into the car, which eventually drives away. On July 12, 2012, Sheila and her mom helped Skylar's parents canvass the neighborhood for 2 weeks.
Wow.
While Rachel went on a Catholic summer camp for 2 weeks. So she was really trying to like pull off the, oh my god, my best friend's missing. I don't want you to know that I just killed your child.
Wow.
So,
Be your own friends.
That's how you need to watch out who are your friends, because some of these people don't need to be your friends. They do not have your best interest at heart. But, you know, at 16 years old, you don't learn that lesson.
Yeah.
You end up learning the hard way. And unfortunately, the hard way for her was her death. So the police believed the most likely scenario was that Skylar went to the house party and overdosed. Where they came up with this overdose situation, I don't know. But Corporal Gaskin told 2020 that he heard rumors that Neese had supposedly overdosed on heroin and she died, and people started panicking, so they disposed of her body. What? There wasn't even a party, so where did the party come from? Who are these people that told this? It's not adding up for me.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the detectives on the case was Jessica Colblank, and she found Sheila's demeanor when she was interrogating her to be odd. She said that she was completely blank of emotions and that she seemed like icy and cold, like she didn't care.
Wow. I mean, because, like, usually when your best friend just got killed, like, you're hysterical. Like,
you would assume that you're emotional and you're distraught and you're like, bro, like, I don't feel like talking about this. Can we go find my friend?
Yeah.
But that wasn't the case for her. And the Detective Colblank actually said that Rachel, she seemed nervous. So Sheila was like, alright, whatever. And Rachel was like, okay, y'all scaring me. I think I know what I did. Get me out of here. And Colblank said that their stories were exactly the same. Like they rehearsed it. And that everything in her gut was that Sheila was acting wrong and Rachel is scared to death.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they went over it because eventually they should have known eventually some questions were going to be asked.
Yeah, but you know, you watch like CSI, you watch all these detective shows, and you know you're not supposed to rehearse it. Like you shouldn't be verbatim. And when you say the, I say the. Like every single word is exactly the same. You're not supposed to do that because obviously everyone's account isn't going to be exactly the same. The way you perceive something is going to sound different.
Yeah, like these. I mean, I'm pretty sure these detectives are trained to like put it together. Like when these people sound exactly the same, they had to go over it.
Yeah. So after they viewed the surveillance video and cell phone records that proved that Sheila and Rachel were lying about what happened when they last saw Skylar, the police told Dave and Mary Neese that Eddy and Shoaf, or Sheila and Rachel, had a secret. Duh, the parents already knew that. So a few months later, in December 28, 2012, Rachel had a nervous breakdown and she was committed to a local psychiatric hospital where she had no contact with Sheila.
Guilty conscience.
Yeah, so of course the one that was nervous was like, all right, I can't handle this anymore.
Yeah,
I can only imagine every second you're like, all right, when the cops gonna come? Oh, someone's knocking on the door, here comes the cop.
Or every time you see something that reminds you of her, it's just, you know.
So after she was discharged from the hospital on January 3rd, 2013, so she was there for a couple of days, Rachel confessed to her attorney and the police that she and Sheila stabbed Neese to death.
Wow.
And you remember the detective that I was talking about? They said that we never encountered anything that led us to believe that these two girls conspired with one another to commit premeditated murder. But y'all knew they was acting weird, so what else would you have thought it was, is what I don't understand. How did you not think that they had something to do with it?
I guess they just thought, these just two innocent girls.
Innocent my butt. So after her confession, Rachel agreed to lead police to the site of the murder to try and find Skylar Neese's body.
So she was a Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Well, the girl almost had she had a nervous breakdown. She couldn't take it anymore. She had to say something. It's not like they came to her. She was like, bruh, I literally am about to die from keeping this in. Like, I need to tell someone. So she actually went a step further and wore a wire.
Wow.
When talking to Sheila, but Sheila refused to incriminate herself.
Yeah.
And I just feel like that just shows the type of person that she is.
So I'm assuming that Sheila was the one that
the mastermind.
Yeah, did all the planning.
That's why she was like,
and encouraged Rachel to do it.
Pretty much. When they discovered Skylar's body and that the blood found on Sheila's car was Skylar's blood, the police had enough evidence to arrest them. They asked Rachel, why did you guys kill Skylar?
I want to hear this. I want to
know, what do you think their reasoning was?
Teenage girls. I would say a boy or, I don't know. I mean, usually when teenage girls don't get along, you got something to do with a boy. So. Yeah,
no, they just didn't like her anymore.
What?
That literally was the reason. They did not like her anymore.
So they just thought like, oh, she was acting fugazi. Now they want to get rid of her.
My thing is, I pray that none of my friends are like, man, we don't like her no more. Let's go kill her. Like, just tell me you don't like me.
Yeah,
like I'll go about my
friends.
business. I will literally go about my business. We don't gotta be friends. We good. Like, let me live my life.
And then this entire time, Skylar was thinking, oh, well, we still good friends. Like, they not gonna do anything to me. The whole time.
The girl just wanted to roll up her weed and smoke. That's all she wanted to do. And y'all had to stab her in the back.
Y'all could at least told her, like, yeah, we don't want to hang with you no more.
But that's a lesson to all the kids. Pay attention to who you become friends with.
Yeah.
As my mother would always say, show me your friends, I will show you you. So if you don't like the representation of your friends, you're not going to like the representation of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks for listening to the Fatal Crime Confession podcast. Check back next week for a new episode. You can also find us at fatalcrimeconfessions.com or on Instagram at Fatal Crime Confessions. Please subscribe, rate, and comment to express how much you love the content. Thank you.